Welcome to the Reality of Herbal Therapy podcast, episode 92, Tag Your Herbs. Okay, so the other day somebody sent me a question. They're like, "Okay, I've got this friend that has a cough that's not going away. How much Fection should they take?" And it was like, so it brought up a memory of working with Dr. James. So I don't know if you're familiar with nutritional sulfur or MSM. What that is it's something that our body needs. It's the sulfur that is used in our bodies. It makes our cells permeable. And it speeds healing to certain areas, helps the joints, helps with arthritis. It's a really, really wonderful supplement. It helps with allergies. It can boost your immunity. And so when Dr. James heard about MSM, he was like, "Oh, this is some great stuff. I've got to create a formula that uses it." So he did some tests and it didn't work. Like if somebody's heart needed it, it would go to the heart. If they had really bad joints, but their kidneys needed it more, it would go to the kidneys. Wherever the body needed it, it would go to that place and not where he wanted it to go. So when Dr. James went to herbal college, he learned from Ella Bersnick. They were working together on what he called herbal tagging, which is there are some herbs that you can actually tag to go to certain places. And so that was what he was trying to accomplish with the Herbal MSM. And it never worked. Every time he tried it, it would not go to where he wanted it to go. It would go wherever the body would use it first and would use it all up, and then there wouldn't be any for wherever he wanted it. So let's talk a little bit about tagging. What is tagging? So that's part of the reason we actually make everything in formulas is because certain herbs go to certain systems of the body. So, you talk about like your skin or your urinary tract, your lungs, your upper respiratory area. So there's several different systems in our body, and certain herbs will have a tendency to go straight to that area. So like, for example, uva ursi, that one will go to the kidneys. Parsley goes to the kidneys and cleans them out. And some other herbs like horehound goes straight to the lungs. Pleursy goes straight to the lungs. So what Dr. James and Ella Bersnick worked on and figured out, there are other herbs that will just go wherever. Things like marshmallow root, golden seal, peppermint, rosemary, those go and they do certain things. Marshmallow root is very soothing to the tissues that it's going to. And they found that if you mix marshmallow root with, say, uva ursi, it will go straight to the kidneys and soothe the kidneys as well as do the healing that the kidneys need. So tagging is really something that's quite useful and important when talking about herbal formulas. So throughout with all of our formulas, they all have certain systems that they're intended to take care of. Bladney, for example, bladder and kidney. Monia goes for the lungs. Hayaz, the upper respiratory system. Tonic F for the female organs. Happy O for the male organs. Man Up, again, for the male organs. High Sugar for the pancreas. So certain formulas go to certain systems of the body. Well, the thing about tagging is we also have formulas that go wherever they're needed unless you tag them. So like this lady saying, "Okay, my friend has a cough. How much Fection should she take?" And it's like, well, if she's got an infection, it's going to go wherever the body needs it. But the thing about tagging is the herbs infection or throbies or detoxylation or tissue mend are taggable, which means you can send them to certain places. So if you have, say, a bladder infection, if you just take Fection, it will go to wherever your body is dealing with infection. It will nourish the immune system and build it up, but it won't go it won't necessarily go to the bladder and help with that bladder infection. But if you mix fection with Bladney, then you've tagged it, and the fection will actually go to the bladder and do its thing there first. So it's kind of like giving priority to the system you want it to go to. So for arthritis, for example, if you've got really bad arthritis and you take Tissue Mend helps with the tissues throughout your body. It helps your hair grow. It helps your fingernails be thicker and stronger. So it helps everywhere within your body. But if you take the Tissue Mend along with arthritis at the same time, then it's tagged, and those tagged herbs will kind of like drag it along to the joints that you're taking the arthritis for. Or say you have a heart issue, like the heart muscle is weak. If you take Tissue Mend along with heart, it will go straight to the heart instead of, going to your sore knee or your sore back. And the same with Throbbys. If you've got, pain, so like painful menstruation, you can take Throbbys along with Tonic F, and it's tagged. It will go to that certain area. Travel is another one. That one is taggable. It will go to certain areas if you mix it with other formulas. So so when somebody asks how much fection should they take, the question is, are you tagging it, or is it just going somewhere else? So if you want fection to go straight to the lungs, if they've got a cough in the lungs and it's from a bronchial infection or whatever, take fection along with ammonia at the same time, and it will go to the lungs. So this has kind of been an overview of tagging, and I hope it's helpful in understanding why you want to mix certain formulas. Look for ones that are intended for certain systems of the body that you're wanting to heal, and you can mix with it those other formulas that do specific things but can be tagged and drug along. So if you have any questions, let me know, and we will talk to you next time. It is not the intent of professional herbal instruction or any persons associated therewith to diagnose or prescribe. The intent is only to offer herbal information for your consideration. In the event you use this information without your doctor's approval, you are prescribing for yourself, which is your God-given right. But professional herbal instruction or any persons associated herewith assume no responsibility. The claims and statements made on this podcast have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.